What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another live stream. As always, my name is Patrick, and today we're going to be talking about some film options you have as a small business or maybe weekend warrior. If you don't have a full-on brick and mortar shop and you're trying to grow something and eventually get to that end point here. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Obviously, we're going to be ending with some Q&A as we do as always. So let's go. Hey everyone, again, my name is Patrick and welcome to Window Tinting Business, where we strive to inform, inspire, and improve you as a professional. If this is your first time watching, welcome to the channel, welcome to the live stream. We do these live streams every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So welcome to the channel and the live stream. So yeah, basically this channel is about window tinting and automotive aftermarket services as well, but mainly window tinting and other services like that. So we're going to be talking about that as well. Let me see some things to add in here. Also, just so you know, Super Chat is available, and if you guys don't know what Super Chat is basically you'll be able to donate to the channel. All proceeds go to help support the channel, as always, of course. We had some really awesome Super Chats last week. So for those of you guys who do donate and do Super Chat, we do appreciate it, of course, as always. Julian in the house, as always. What's going on? Hogan over here. Hey. So we'll definitely go into the Q&A section of the stream in just a little bit. So besides that, we're going to be talking about window film. So as a small business, it's kind of hard to get up and going. Here's a good example, and this is why I'm having this conversation, is because I think my levels are peaking a little bit. I think I'm a little high here. Anyways, sorry. So some of you guys are going to know this too, because I'm starting to release like small micro videos or maybe even like small vlogs, is that I just recently got a garage for myself at the other apartment that I was living at. It was like I was on the waiting list, but I never got a garage. So when I'm doing like weekend warrior stuff, when I'm doing my moonlighting stuff away from like my actual shop job, it makes it a little bit more difficult without a shop, so I have to do everything mobile, 100%, which does make it a little bit difficult at times. It has its pros and its cons, but I've always liked at least having a shop too. That way there's a place that I can go if in fact that they don't have a shop or they don't have a garage, an enclosed place with power. So I'm going to be doing a whole series on how, and it's a small garage. It's 11 feet by 19 feet deep. So it's a small little garage, a one-car garage, but we're going to build it up, and I'm going to go, through the vlog. I'm going to show you guys, how you can set up a successful shop, even just a one-car shop, even for weekend warriors. But one of the first steps that we're going to be doing is talking about film. And here's the thing, and I'm a big fan of Lumar. But if you're not full on in business, or if you're just starting, it's very hard to just jump into Lumar. Number one, they have a $2,500 first purchase order minimum, plus you have to maintain $10,000 for a 12-month span. So I think it's like $850 per month, which means that you're going to have to commit to at least $12,500 worth of purchases of film. And when you're just starting out, or you're doing weekend warrior stuff where you're not transitioned to full-time tender or full-time shop, and you're just trying to make, ends meet and make some spare cash, or you're transitioning from moving from your full-time job and making window tinting a full-time job, it's hard to commit to that amount of purchases because you don't even know if you're going to make that much, especially within your first year if you're just learning. So the goal is that we're going to be trying to figure out a film that we can do. With the big films like Lumar and 3M, it's great because if you don't have a name or no one knows you and you just pop up a shop, then it's kind of hard for people to trust you. Like, oh, this guy just popped up, he's new. Some people might be like, oh, it's a brand new tint shop, let's go over there, let's go get our cars checked out over there. But some people, they're like, no, I don't know this guy and I don't know anything. So a good way to build up some instant credit or establish some instant credit is to purchase film that has established credit. That's why Lumar and 3M are so expensive as well, is because they have a good brand recognition. So that's a powerful thing, so that if people don't know you, if you can buy Lumar 3M and you can afford it, then people trust that a little bit more. But like I said, as a weekend warrior, or as a guy that's making this on the weekends, or moonlighting, or trying to transition just into a full-time gig, but you don't know if you're going to make that much money or make that much profit, it's a big commitment. So plus with the bigger guys, there's how do I say it? There's areas, there's districts, there's people already have certain markets already in certain areas. Like, you can't be a Lumar dealer or Formula One dealer within 25 miles of another Formula One dealer. So because then you're impeding in other people's markets, and they're basically competing against each other. So also, yeah, those are pretty much the main ones. So I was thinking more of a film that it's still gonna have the same power, but not. It is and it isn't. So I need to find a manufacturer of a film that, and when I say me, this is like, this is for everyone as well. If you're going to be doing this, is that you need to find a manufacturer that doesn't have like an initial purchasing amount. It doesn't have, minimum requirements per month, just because you don't know. You want a company that has really good customer service, that has decent quality film. And like I said, as long as the film lasts at least 7 years, then that's it. Most people keep the car for 6 years. So if it can at least last 7 years, you're in the clear, because statistically they're not going to have it. They're not going to have the car past then. Good warranties that can be fulfilled, and check and see what will the manufacturer cover. Will the manufacturer just cover film? Will the manufacturer cover just labor? Will they cover labor and film? On the whole, film is fairly affordable. It's the labor that really covers the really costs. So you have to put that into perspective and see if that's worth it as well. I was really thinking about Johnson, and I was really thinking about who was the other one? Johnson and Global. Those were the two brands that I was really thinking about. That's just kind of more popular throughout the whole online presence and whatnot, with social media and other people that are in these groups and Facebook and Instagram and other stuff. And then a buddy of mine talked to me about XPEL, and I'm really thinking that I'm going to be going within that direction. Oh, my mother tried to FaceTime me. She should know. Anyways, yeah, but XPEL, I think, he was bringing up some really great points. It's got a great price point. I think for the regular dyed stuff, it was like 59 cents a square foot, I believe. And that's just the dye, standard dyed film. But then I believe they also have ceramics and other options as well. And it sounds like their customer service is pretty awesome. He's been getting very well taken care of by them. I think they messed up like one roll, and like they were on top of everything. So I think XPEL is the way I'm gonna go. I'm calling to see if I can get some samples and really, get a feel for it. But yeah, I think that's the way. I'm pretty sure that's the one I'm going to be going with. But if you guys have your opinions, or let me know in the comments below or in the chat. If you guys are small time, or just weekend warriors, or just moonlight, and you have a particular film that you do like, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you guys use and why you guys like using that type of film, whether it's Global, Max Pro, Johnson, Reno. There's a number of different manufacturers out there, so let me know below. But yeah, I think I've always, and I was thinking more towards Johnson's too, is because I know that it can handle the shrink, and handle some aggressive shrinking, and it installs well. It does install a little fuzzy, so. But yeah, let me see here. Steve Rowan says he uses XPEL every day. It's a great film and programs. Excellent. I use Window Tint Factory in Miami. Okay, excellent. All right. Yeah, so I mean, there's definitely, you guys have been there. You guys understand then that there are just sometimes, you can't just fork out all the money for for top-notch stuff, especially if you're just starting to grow something and build something. Let me see here. See here, just reviewing some of the chat here. I'm going to try to save some of the questions for our Q&A section, but just reading over some other things. Johnny Gig says, what do you think about eBay film? No, don't mess around with that stuff, brother. And the reason why, like eBay or Amazon film, I've heard nightmare stories of, like, let's say a manufacturer, let's say Suntech. I'm just going to throw them out there, and this is not like an actual story, but let's just say Suntech has a bad run of film. A run of film that does not meet their quality control inspections. So what they'll do is they'll toss it. Well, some businesses like will burn them, and some businesses will just pay a third-party company, to come in and get rid of it. They just throw it away. Well, it ends up that they don't get rid of it. And I've heard of nightmare stories of, like, the film getting back into the market, but they're like, it's defective film, but like it ends up in like eBay or Amazon or something like that. So if you're going to be buying film, make sure you're buying directly from the manufacturer. Don't be messing around with eBay or Amazon or stuff, because like that, number one, you can get your hands on film. That's fine. That's not about getting your hands on film and whether or not it's going to stick to glass or not. It's working with a company or a manufacturer that can valid the warranties, that you can call for customer service, maybe touch base with them for marketing materials like banners that say window tinting and like XPEL, or display boards that say like Max Pro, or some, there's different things that you can do in that respect that they can help you with. But yeah, and that's really one of the reasons why, and build, why you want to be with a manufacturer, obviously, and don't buy the stuff from like AutoZone or anything of that nature. It's just probably not going to work out very well. Just being honest with you. But yeah, I don't want to get too deep into that, but I'm swaying more towards XPEL. But like I said, give me your opinion if you guys are smaller shops, because I'm only doing this just on Sundays, just to make it a little. This is my side money, and I spend it. We go out and spend it on dinners and buy extra toys and do other things that we want to do. It's just for fun, just because I do love it. Let me see here. I'm trying to think. Anything else about film before we go into the Q&A section? No, it is getting hot in here though. Should open it up a little bit here. There we go. Okay, let us pop into the Q&A section at this time, and let me go ahead and review some of these questions here. Braden Hogan said, thoughts on tinting windows outdoors. Could it be done? Yes, it can be done. Should it be done? No. It is very difficult to tint vehicles outside. Even the slightest and smallest gust of wind can ruin an installation, can ruin film. Film is very fickle and very delicate. So, a small gust of wind and it'll crease it. And especially when you're trying to clean the window and then peel the liner off and install the film, trash and debris and contamination is just very easy to get into there. Can it be done? Yes. Should it be done? No. So it really just depends on the situation. I had a gig where it was, and I said, is there an enclosed area with power? They said yes. And there was. It wasn't a lie. It just was full of crap that I couldn't get into. So, but it was like 5 company trucks, and I was there from the morning until the afternoon. But I was, I made like, I don't know. They didn't buy great film, but it was like I made like $800 or $900 that day. But it was all outside. So, like, normally would I do that? No. But am I going to turn down $800 or $900? No. So, you got to kind of pick your battles. You don't want to be in that situation, but just know that if you end up in that situation, it's going to be frustrating. It's going to be harder. You might run through a little bit more film, but just got to be aware of that. Let's see here. Real food, real good. Is Flex Film worth a try? They're here in Atlanta. I was going to try their carbon. It's decent price. I don't like to badmouth anyone. I haven't heard horrible things. I haven't, it's kind of, I just search online, check reviews. How about that? Let's see. J Workshop, was it hard for you when you started off in this business? Was it hard? Yes and no. I was coming from a failing landscaping business, and it was either learn a trade and figure out how to make money or get a regular 9-to-5 job. And I'm not the kind of guy with a 9-to-5 gig. I've been fired from every other job if I don't work for myself or a business that I own. Other gigs that I've done when I work for other people, besides window tinting, I've been pretty much fired from everything else. So I found window tinting online and I gave it a shot. I bought tools, I bought film, I started tinting, and it was hard, but it would be harder to not work and not make money and not pay your bills. So in that respect, it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be, but it would be more difficult if I had like an established career already and I was trying to window tint, because it is frustrating when you're first learning. So I guess situational, as always, situational. Sorry, I thought I heard something here. You ordered 2-ply carbon, two companies sent me 1-ply dyed on eBay. Yeah. That's why you don't order anything from eBay or Amazon. Don't buy window film from Amazon or eBay. Let me see. J Workshop asks, how long did it take you to get good enough to tint customers' cars? It took me about 2 to 3 months, and then I started charging people. But actually, very honestly, the very first first gig I ever did, paying gig, was 2 sets of roll-ups on a Honda SUV. I was so nervous, and it took me forever. It probably took me a good hour to do 2 sets of roll-ups, and I was so nervous, and because I knew it was my first gig, and I was like, ooh, what do I do? I ended up just giving it to him for free, because he was the guy, one of the salesmen at a dealership. So I told him, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it for free on the house. More because I was nervous, and I was like, he can't complain if it's free. So that was my mindset. So I ended up giving it to him for free, and he didn't complain. And then he ended up actually bringing me more business because he was working at the dealership, and he thought it was a good move on my part. But yeah, that was it. But usually you want to get your cars, you're going to be probably working mobile, and you probably want to get your cars down to about 2 hours. That's reasonable. Because if you can tint a car in 2 hours, plus it's going to take you 15 minutes to set up, 15 minutes to break down all your stuff, and probably another 10 minutes to saddle up with the customer. So if it's longer than 2 hours, then it's just the customer starts to get a little worried and a little concerned. I know because I did it. I remember I tinted a Buick Regal, and it took me like 4.5 hours. And it still wasn't really great. So like they really start to question your quality of work when it's longer than that. And it wasn't really great, and it made me nervous, and it was not a great experience. So, but I remember my first car I ever tinted took me 6.5 hours. So it does take time, repetition, speed. Speed comes with repetition, and that's the only thing and the best thing that you can do. Let me see here. What microfiber towel brand would you recommend? I've been getting fibers in my installs. From Efrain Mendoza. I have used a number of different ones. I used what was the name of it? Let me see if I can find it. Costco yellow towels. Costco microfiber towels. Oh, here we go. Hold on one second. Let's take a look at this right here. So these Kirkland Signature. Let's go into the images here. These towels right here were probably the first set of towels I ever bought. They're not that bad. They're good. They're hardy. They have a good border on them. They're not bad at all. And they have one side that's like fluffy and the other side that's a little bit more fine. These are decent towels. I had no complaints with these towels. I have still some of these towels to this day. They're still, you know, I throw them away after about a year and a half or so, but like I use them as like secondary towels around the shop, cleaning up little stuff. But these aren't bad. Also, I've gotten the towels from. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see, AutoZone. Ironically, this is on eBay. You can buy microfiber towels from eBay. Just don't buy film from eBay. Let's see. Advanced Auto Parts. Let's see if we can find microfiber towels. Why am I here? Every time. My trash has to go out. I'm trying to find the good towels that I saw. Are these it? These are in a smaller pack, but I found, no, these aren't it either. I'm trying to find the advanced, I found these microfiber towels from Advanced Auto Parts. Those have been my favorite thus far. I think these might be it. Yeah, I think those are it right there. Carand, 8-pack microfiber Carand. They're a little bit more pricey, but they have a better edge to them, and they feel a little bit better quality. And I just got a 30-pack of, let's see here, let's go back here. I just got a 30-pack of microfiber towels from Walmart also, and those weren't bad either. I think they were like $13 for a 30-pack, which weren't bad at all. You just gotta wash them, and I think that's with all microfiber towels. At first, it's gonna be linty, and they're gonna get little lints in them, but just make sure you get them through a good rinse, a good wash, and you should be good to go on that one. Let me see here. Hardest tint you worked with? J Workshop asks, hardest tint you work with? Is it the tint? Are you asking me what film was the hardest I've worked with? I'd probably say the hardest, and it's not really the hardest. I'd say Max Pro was the one I started with, and I stopped using them because I started getting really frustrated with more aggressively cars that needed to shrink aggressively. The film would heat crease, so I just ended up stopped using them. So that is that answer right there. Wow, we got some decent people in here. 23 people in the chat, in the live stream. Welcome everyone. For those of you new here, this is Patrick at Window Tinting Business, and this is our Tuesday night live stream. And it sounds like my fire alarm's going off. I'm pretty sure the old lady. Let me check here. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, we're all good. We're all good. The old lady's just making dinner, and she set the fire alarm off, so it's okay. It's off now, so. But yeah, sorry about that. Looks like the live stream's good. And you know what the good thing is too, is that I tried a number of different things. Like you can do like your live streams, or you can set up an event and try their news streaming on YouTube. And I think I've started to get a really good handle. I've had a lot less like drops and a lot less crashes on my computer. So I think we're starting to get a really good handle on these live streams here. So good. So yeah, keep watching if you guys like it. Make sure to hit the bell notification so you know when I go live. I'll go over some more questions here. Jose Mendoza asked, do you hand code on your mobile jobs or take a plotter? Actually, I plot out. If it's just me moonlighting, most of the time what I'll do is I'll pre-cut the patterns on a plotter, weed it there, and then install it there. But I'll bring the film with me, spare film with me, just in case I end up messing up any of those film patterns. And then I can hand cut at the end. But it's just faster for me to do it that way. But if you don't have a plotter, you can't pre-cut, then you gotta use your hands. And I can get pretty fast on hands. It's just I just prefer a plotter because it's a little bit faster for me. So yeah. How would you sell carbon to a customer? I just bought some, but still don't understand what the benefit of it. I have only used dye since I started. Sorry, newbie. Thanks. Servando Casterlin. Okay, so what are the main benefits really? You don't want to get too technical, of the build, I guess, of the film and what's used to make the film, because customers don't really care about that stuff. So the main difference that you want to tell people between like a carbon or a ceramic versus a standard dyed film is going to be the amount of heat rejection. So, and that's typically what I tell people, unless there's like no color stable in the dyed, but there's color stable in the ceramic or in the carbon film. The manufacturers are a little bit different. But you want to check and see, what the differences are between. But most of the time, it's going to be the heat rejection percentage, and that's what I tell people too. Then when the prices go up, you're going to get better heat rejection, and sometimes you get better warranties as well. And you can also charge more. Let's just say, so here's a good example. Lumar, within their Lumar line, give a standard factory warranty against bubbling, peeling, failing, delamination, basic film failure coverage. Now, when you get to Formula One, and that's, with the Lumar, and that's still even CTX, and CTX is their ceramic line. It's the top of the Lumar line, right? But then you move over to Formula One, which is their high-grade film, right? So their ceramic Pinnacle is almost the same thing as their CTX, except for the coverage is a little bit different. The coverage on the Pinnacle is a no-fault warranty. So that means that even if it's the customer's fault, if they bring it in and show warranty, show paperwork and receipt and whatnot, they can get that covered under the warranty. So if a manufacturer doesn't cover that or doesn't supply that, then you can give a shop warranty and just say, like, this is only valid here, but if you want to do this, I can guarantee you this. And then just be straightforward with people. What if they ask, well, how do I know you're going to be here in 7 years? You don't, but I'm good at what I do and I plan on being here, so it is what it is sometimes. All right, let's see some more questions here. Hello from Germany, Martin K. What's going on? 1:32 in the morning. Hey, Martin, I remember you were on the live stream. You joined us in the live stream a month or two ago. I'm pretty sure I remember you. So, yeah, welcome, brother. Welcome. J Workshop was there under 100 subs. We just broke 5K. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Thank you for joining the live stream, man. Hopefully, we'll catch us at a later time. That's how I know when dinner is done at my house, when the alarms are going off. Yeah. Yeah, it's what can you do, right? I just want to make sure the house isn't burning down before I have to grab all my camera gear and stuff, and my kids and family. Yeah. Let's see. Julian Florin asks, what is the cheap software for cutter plotter? Let me see here. Let me see if I can find this. Julian, I think you and I had a conversation about this before. Okay, let's see here. All right, Julian, this is I think I tried to send it to you via mobily when we were emailing back and forth. So Julian had a question in regards to software, affordable software, or software in general. And this is one of the two suggestions I gave: film and vinyl design. Actually, I have checked some reviews online, and people don't typically like this here. This is film and vinyl designs. I never really used it for the vinyl, but I did use it for their film cutting. And I found it to be pretty good software. It's pretty close. You're not going to get perfect. And if the top edge really bothers you, you can recut it. But it's very rare. And me, it's as long as it's within 1/8 of an inch, I'm good to go. That's what I'm going to be using. And I'm okay with that. That's fine with me. But this software is pretty good. You get either weekly updates, you get regular updates. But the thing about this is that it's all backed up on your computer. So let's just say the internet goes out, and you're not connected to the internet, you still have all access to everything else. I'm pretty sure other software programs, like if you don't have internet, you're pretty much done. But yeah, Julian, go filmvinyldesigns.com. I know, and I think I was looking at a US site as well. I know you're over in the UK. And that's kind of a difficult thing too with me, is that I'm not 100% sure. I know of a lot of stuff I can do here in the States, but I don't know if they I don't know if the car, and I don't want to sound ignorant or silly or anything like that, but I'm not 100% sure if the makes and models are the exact same here versus in Europe or other countries as well, because I've never been to another country and tinted. So, but if there's a company out there that wants to send me, let's do it. But yeah, this is one. That's one, and then Lumar's precision cut. Precision cut? Yeah, it's precision cut. Yeah. Those are the two that I would definitely recommend on that. Tim Robinson, I think I answered that question. Best recommended cut software programs. I'd say that's the two. I haven't heard really great things about Tintech 2020. I haven't heard pretty much any. There's a bunch of other smaller companies that I've never even heard of. There's just a lot of cars, there's a reason why the good ones are expensive, is because they have a lot of options. Between cutting out third brake lights and not cutting out third brake lights, short patterns, long patterns, year, make, and models of everything out there, constant updates. It's worth it. So, besides, it really doesn't matter. I mean, even if they're going to charge you $200, let's just say that they're going to charge you $200, and let's just say that's expensive. I'm not really 100% sure because I don't buy software, but I think precision cuts like $240 a month or $200 a month if you don't buy the film, if you don't buy Lumar film, and I think it's like $120 or $150 a month if you do. But the price point is irrelevant, because in my opinion, I can tint twice as many cars in the same time versus cutting by hand. That's just my opinion. It's faster. You don't have to cut on the cars, and then you have less risk because you're not cutting on cars, so maybe you're not going to etch the glass or less damage or possible damage. So if I can double if I'm doing $800 a day and then I can turn it to $1,600 in a day, is that $200 a month worth it? Absolutely. So I mean, software companies, they could probably charge $500 a month and people would still pay it, because it's about production time and what you can turn around and make that money worth. So it's not that I wouldn't really worry about saving money on software. I would probably focus on how to advertise so that you can get more cars in, so that so you can keep up with the software, because the software is going to be able to keep up with you. No problem. Let's see here, other questions here. A lot of plotter software questions. Oh yeah. AJM boarding. You're using Lumar's software. I have no problem with Lumar software. I have no problem at all. And they have a really pretty in-depth PPF option as well. So if you do PPF, that's good. If you don't do PPF, maybe learn because that you're paying for PPF also, I'm pretty sure. So Just Right asks, can I use any plotter to cut film, or is there a specific type of cutting film? I'm pretty sure any plotter, as long as it can hold a blade. Film blades are 25 degrees, and as long as it can cut vinyl, if it's a cutter, it can pretty much cut film, because it really just depends on the depth. You gotta set the depth. So like vinyl, I think the vinyl and PPF, the degree in the blade is 60, and then for film it's 25. Don't get those mistaken or mixed up, because I've tried. It doesn't work. 25 and 60, I'm pretty sure. And then just set your depth so that's just cutting through the film, not the film and the liner. You should be good to go. And as long as the plotter is wide enough to hold the roll, so I mean, if you have a 24-inch Roland plotter and you have 36-inch rolls, that's not going to work, clearly. So, but don't be crazy and buy a 60-inch plotter either. You don't need that. A good 40-inch plotter, or 42, I think it is 42-inch plotter. You should be good with that one. That's like pretty much the standard. 40 or 42, I can't remember which one, because I've never bought a plotter either, but I use them. Jake Graham asks, people trash talk about other shops in my area, even the customers. I find this unprofessional. I think it's important to keep a good relationship with the competition. What do you think? You shouldn't trash talk about anybody. If you got time to talk trash, why do people talk low people? What is that phrase? I can't even remember what they call it, but just, it's like low people talk about other people or something like that. It's irrelevant. Why waste your time spinning your wheels talking trash about someone else? You don't. I tell people all the time, they say so and so is a good shop. Good, great, you go there then. If not, I mean, your quality of work should be good. People that usually trash talk other competitors are because they're trying to hide their own flaws. It's like anyone else with low self-esteem. Oh my God, again. Do you guys hear this? Honey? Just twice. So, I mean, people with low self-esteem typically talk about other people. There's people in the world that they can't succeed, so they can't get to a certain point. They feel like they've plateaued. So the only way to get higher is to push and step on other people, bring other people down, because they can't rise up. So if they bring other people down, then they're rising up in their heads. But no, and that's one of the reasons why I run this channel, why I do these live streams, and why I do what I do, is because unfortunately the people are nasty out there, and we want to change. I do want to change that. I want people to be more professional, and in my opinion, I feel like there are good tinters and then there are really, really bad ones. So like in the majority of like public eye, I feel like people think that we're more like maybe one step up from used car dealer, and that's probably not a very good stereotype image or thought, right? But that's not everyone. I know some great shops that are very professional that people just absolutely love. And we just need to have more of those and less of the crap, to be honest. Just being honest. Let's go back to some of these questions here. I got into a little rant there. Sorry about that. The Purple Platypus Podcast. J-Wise. Did you change your name, J-Wise? I thought it was J-Wise. If you're first starting out, I recommend hand cutting for all your asking about plotters. Personal experience, I'm sure Pat will agree. Yes, I do, 100%. For those of you guys that are asking about plotters, if you guys are just starting out, do not worry about plotters. Hand cut, learn how to hand cut. It's an invaluable trait to have and a talent to have. I know people that work at dealerships, at car dealerships, and they train people how to how to tint cars, right? But they don't train them how to hand cut. There's a reason why. They teach people at dealerships how to install using plotters, and I call those tinters installers. They're not tinters, they're installers. Why? Because they're handicapping them, because if they know how to hand cut, they know that they can make more money elsewhere and they'll leave. So but if you guys kind of want to learn and get volume and learn how to tint cars, go work for a dealership that has in-house tinting. They will hire you, because then you can learn real quickly how to install at least. But at the end of the day, you have to know how to hand cut, because you're useless if the internet goes out, the power goes out. I mean, you're kind of useless. You got to be able to make money, and not even for working for someone else, working for yourself. What do you do if the power goes out? Well, I mean, if the power goes out completely, I can I can put flashlights on, and I can hand cut a whole car and use a blowtorch to shrink the back. I can still tint a car, no problem, if the power was out and there was no lights except for flashlights or something like that. So it's about being able to stay productive and make money, and that's the name of the game, ladies and gents. Let's see here. All the plotter software has big prices. It's all right. Big prices come with big money, baby. Don't worry. Let's see. Question here. Do you shave or file the edges? I prefer to shave the edges. Or excuse me, I prefer to file the edges. A real fine file. I don't mind shaving, but shaving is, you have to wait a long time to make sure that it's not going to lift at all. Because if you shave too early, then it's not going to work. And here's the reason too. So let's look. Here's my iPhone, right? Let's just look at. Let's just say let's say a piece of glass, and this is the side of it. This is a deep look into it, right? So if your film is here and you shave it and it's not right, right where it curves at the top, like right at the base of it, if it's slightly higher, it's gonna end up peeling. I see a lot of cats that do a lot of quick shaving, a wet shave, and they do that, right? But then I'm like, there's no way. I'd have to look at it. But the film has to lay down, and it has to dry, and it has to stay long enough. For cats that shave or file framed windows, I don't know why they do that. I feel like that's a waste of time. They're like, oh, well, because there's no gap when you roll the window down. Well, there's a gap when you roll the window down. So what does it matter? What is it? When the window rolls down, the window is open. Light's coming in. So what does it matter if there's an additional 1/8 of an inch? Like, I feel like that's a waste of time. You can spend more time on other cars and make more money. But to answer your question, I like to file versus shave. I feel like it's a lot cleaner and a lot smoother and a lot closer. That's a lot of stainless steel blades. I use a lot of blades. I don't care. I use a whole bunch of blades. Why? Because blades are cheaper than glass in replacement and labor costs for a shop to replace a back window or a front window or a side window. So I'll use all the blades in the world so I don't have to pay someone else to fix anything. Uh-oh. Tint stuff in the house. Oh, Matt, are you still in the Philippines? Are you back? I don't know. hope all is well, my friend. I haven't talked to you in a little bit. Call me. So Tint Stuff had some good insight on there. He says they used everything has a little bit of issues. You just gotta learn how to work with the program if you want to go that route. So if you want to use software, every software has pros and cons. So, but as long as you learn the program and learn how to manipulate it and work with it, then you should be good to go. Thanks, Tint Stuff. Appreciate it. What's your top source or strategies for driving unpaid traffic advertising to your shop? Ooh, that's a very good question. Okay, let's talk about unpaid traffic and advertising to a shop. What's my top sources? Number one is recommendations. Always absolutely recommendations, hands down. So you have to have good work. If you don't crank out good work, then people won't talk about you. So you gotta whenever you do good, whenever you work on anyone's car, it has to be stellar, the best possible. I always say 97%. You're not gonna get 100%. It's not gonna be perfect. But if there's a tiny little crease here, or if there's a little bit of trash there, if it's more than unacceptable, then the window gets redone. I don't care if it's a quarter window or a full front windshield. If it's not good, it's not leaving. If it doesn't meet my personal standards, then it doesn't leave the shop. Or I rip it off if I don't want to do it that day, which very rarely happens. But you have to do good work, and you have to let people know, hey, a big portion of my marketing is word of mouth and referrals. So if you wouldn't mind, if you enjoyed it and you liked your experience, if you could tell some people, here's some business cards. Simple. Some other unpaid advertising that you can do in some smaller markets. Craigslist is actually a pretty great place. In my particular area, in the Tampa area, I was actually using Craigslist for a while. They actually just changed it, so like they charge you now, and I don't know if it's like $5 per post or $5 a month or something like that. I hadn't been on there just because I haven't really been pushing my side business very much, because I was moving and transitioning and doing other things. So but for a good time, Craigslist was really good to me, and it was free at the time, and I'd be getting a couple of like $400 ceramic gigs. So it's not just like dyed film gigs that they want to pay $99. Like, I was getting some good gigs off of that. Other ones, Facebook, garage sale groups, or different groups, like different county groups. Garage sale groups are the best ones, and they're in your area and in your surrounding areas, because then you can post there for free, and then they can see it. That group can see it as well. But make sure you either add a video or add a photo, and write professionally and look like a professional. But I'd say those are my top three. And car groups, like in person, like go to car, like if there's a car show, go, because these car guys, like, they all work together, and they all hook up together, like, they go on rides together and different things of that nature, and they talk amongst each other. So if you get in good with one, you can get in good with a bunch of them. The only thing is that you better be good, because if you go to like these car groups and you screw the pooch on one, like, your reputation could be like tainted with all of them, and then they'll just say like no, and then you're gonna have to move and change your name, and it's embarrassing. So don't do that. Johnny Gig, what kind of knife do you recommend for cutting tint? I only use Olfa blades, but when I hand cut, I only like using a red dot, an NT A1 Pro, 1A Pro red dot. It's an industry standard here. Let me see if I can find it for you. No, I don't want to sign up. Here we go. So let me see if I can get a picture of this. Boom. This is the NT red dot, or what do they call it here? NT Cutter Pro, or the red dot. That's what they call it too. So here's the thing too. It says Japan right here. When you get these blades, guys, or get this knife, throw this blade away. This blade is junk, and you will cut glass with this. It's horrible. Don't use this. So make sure you just get Olfa blades, and make sure the blades say stainless on them. If they don't say stainless on them, then don't use them, because you're gonna cut glass. So don't do that. I just saved you a bunch of money on your car insurance. All right, let's see here. In your opinion or experience, XPEL or Global? I hear they're very similar. The word on the street is they're very similar. Personally, I'm actually trying out XPEL soon to see if I want to use them for my moonlight stuff. So, yeah, that's my opinion. How many shades of lines of film would you carry for your own side business? Shades / lines. Those are two different ones. So you need to be able to cover the legal limit, and they need to be able to cover the legal limit and then some. So here's a good example. In Alabama, it was 35% all around, right? So you had to at least carry 35 for people that wanted to be legal. You carry 15 or 20. In my opinion, it's 20, but some people will say it's 15. You carry 15 or 20 so that you can match factory tint to like SUVs and trucks and vans and things of that nature. And then you carry 5%. So you carry 5% for sure, just in case someone wants to limo out or black out their tint. They don't care about tickets, whatever. You carry 20% so that you can match factory tint on SUVs, trucks, and vans, and then you keep the legal limit. So like 35% would be the legal limit in Alabama. So you keep those three for sure: 5, 20, and then the legal limit. And then I'd probably carry a 50 for if you're doing front windshields, and then like an 80 or a 90 if people want front windshields with no tint. But that's my opinion right there. But then that is just one line of like maybe a dyed film. So, but then there's dyed films, there's hybrid films, which is a metallized dyed film, like a blend of metal and dyed films. And then there's ceramics. Now, I've never messed with like nano ceramic or carbon or anything of that nature, so I can't really speak on that. But you want to keep those three shades within each line. So like at the shop, I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I have like 25 boxes in the back. But that's not really like if I went and bought those 25 boxes, it'd be like $4 or $5 or $6 grand or something like that. It's insane. So start off with one line, an affordable line. It doesn't have to be like high. It can be right in the middle. It could be like a metallized dyed. And then start establishing that and start building your bankroll, and then like purchase a more affordable line, and now you have a better best option. And then like once you get two lines and you start making a little bit more money, you have a little bit more bankroll, then buy a high performance line, either a ceramic or a carbon or something of that nature. And now you have a good, better, best, and now you have a range of options for people. So that's my opinion. Hope that helped. Let me see here. Just Ride. Do I need a permit to start my business? I don't know where you are. There's different rules and regulations for every different state. For a good example, I mean, you can always do a DBA, doing business as. Most states are now making you file a fictitious name, register a fictitious name. Which reminds me, I gotta do something. Anyways, you got to file a fictitious name to be able to get a DBA account. But for like, there's no special permit that you would need, I don't believe, unless it's like a business license. Then if that's the case, you need to get like, you can get like an LLC set up. Yeah, Legal Zoom is a really good one. I think I paid like $200 and you can get an LLC established, which is really good. And for those of you guys that don't know, LLC is a limited liability company, which would be something that you want to do. And keep in mind, I'm not like giving you tax advice, so don't bank on this. If you have actual questions about taxes or business entities, see a CPA. But an LLC will separate your personal assets from the business assets. So in the event that you do get sued, or the possibility that you do get sued, they can only go after your business and your business properties and assets. So like, but if you don't have an LLC or you're working as a DBA, and let's say you get sued for something, they can go over your personal assets. They can go over after your house, your cars, your personal savings, a number of different things. So look into that. Be careful. Be safe, all. NT Cutter Pro A. Thank you, sir. Thanks for all the free information you provide to the new guys. Keep up the good work. I've been working the garage sale groups for sure. Good job, brother. Good job. No worries, man. No worries. Puerto Rico in the house. Puerto Rico in the house. Julian said, Patrick, how do you solve the matrix dots from the rear window after 1 week? The contour of the dots become visible. That's standard. Totally standard. You're probably talking about just the edge, and that's totally standard. That does happen, Julian. So I wouldn't worry about it. Look at other cars. I thought so too. When I first started tinting, I'm like, oh, this is not laying down at the edge, and I wanted to lay down. But then I started doing research and looking at other cars and checking out other cars, and it's standard that it doesn't stick to the dot matrix. Don't worry about it. No big. No big. It's not a perfect science. It's not perfect. I wish it was, but it's not. Tim Robinson, I just ordered Carbon Effects. Gonna give them a try. I haven't heard bad things about them. Good luck. Let me know. Ephraim Mendoza, how do you price out your jobs as side gigs? How do I price it out? A good standard is typically you charge for a standard sedan, a coupe or a sedan, because I charge the same for a coupe or a sedan. Like, some people are like, well, you use less material in a coupe. Yes, but it's typically harder to tint a coupe because you got to like crawl into the back window, and it's harder with just 2 doors and blah blah blah. So I keep the prices the same. But typically, a good rule of thumb would be that whatever you charge for the film, whatever you buy for a roll of film, that's how much you should probably be charging for a sedan or a coupe. So if you're paying $200 for a roll of film, a 36-inch by 100-foot, then you should be charging about $200 for that roll. And just because you have the film, but then you have other associated costs: gas, tools, water, a number of different things. Obviously, you got to pay. You got to keep money back for insurance, taxes, other things. So there's not just just paying for film and then the rest goes into your pocket. Not that other people don't do that. A lot of people do that. A lot of people do that when they first start because they need the money and they want to grow a business. So that happens from time to time. So, it is what it is. You can do that, but you have to be aware that you can be 100% cash money. We just got to understand, Uncle Sam finds out a lot of stuff. Y'all got to be slick about it. Be smart about the things that you do, because there are backlashes to things that could happen. So if you're doing shady things or illegal stuff, I'm not recommending it because it is not good. But yeah, I think we're going to close it out for this week's live stream, guys. I got to go ahead and make sure that the old lady did not burn the house down. Hopefully she didn't. For those of you guys that joined us today, thank you very much for joining us. Again, this is Window Tinting Business. My name is Patrick. As always, make sure to join us next week, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for our next week's live stream. Also, if you're not a subscriber, make sure to subscribe to the channel. All you have to do is hit the blue box in the bottom right hand corner for you, and if you want to know or you want to be notified when we go live again or when we add other videos or upload other videos, make sure to hit the bell notification so that you are up to date with all that. So thanks again, everyone. Thanks again, and I will talk to y'all soon.